I've seen the inside of more than 1,000 Google Ad accounts, and almost none of them do what I'm about to show you in this video. And by not using this simple Google Ads technique, they are wasting a lot of their budget. Okay, so what am I talking about here? I'm talking about using an ad schedule. Now, by default, when you create a Google Ad campaign, there is no schedule attached to it. Your ads are going to run all times of day, all days of the week. And for certain businesses, that is a really big issue. And I'll explain why and then show you actually how you create a schedule to overcome this. Now, for some businesses, running ads all day, all night, all days of the week is fine. If you think about an example being an e-commerce business that is optimizing for conversions or conversions value, you're optimizing for the end thing, which is a sale via your website. So if someone does that in the middle of the night or the middle of the day, doesn't matter. Now, there are still scenarios where even with an e-commerce business, you would still want to run an ad schedule. If, for example, you take a look at your data and you see that, yes, your ads are running at night, but you're not getting anywhere near as good results as you are in the day on a conversion basis, well, maybe you want to turn them off at night and implement a schedule as well. But for a lot of e-commerce businesses, that's going to be okay. For a lot of lead generation businesses, having ads run 24/7 is a nightmare. Now, I'm a big fan of really shortening the time from when a lead is generated to when it is actually contacted. I've seen businesses literally triple their revenue by taking a response time that is same day, maybe the next morning. So a lead's generated and they go, yeah, we try and contact those leads within the same day, or we contact the next morning. Often it's like a small business, it's the business owner that's doing it exclusively and they're sort of fitting it in and around all the other things that they've got to do. Taking it from that to say, no, we are going to contact all leads within 5 minutes of them becoming a lead. I've seen businesses triple their revenue with that one change only, which of course then more than pays for the salesperson or sales team that's in place to be able to contact those leads that quickly, because your conversion rate goes through the roof and you don't even need to spend any more on ads. So it's a really, really important thing to be able to do for a lot of lead generation businesses. Not all, but for a lot of lead generation businesses. Now, the problem with that is that you probably have opening hours. Unless you have a 24/7 sales team, which not many businesses do, then you are going to need to implement a schedule to make sure that you can maintain that 5-minute or whatever it is for your business contact window. Because you don't want someone becoming a lead, say at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. Even with your 5-minute contact window, if you close at 6, no one's going to contact them that evening, right? And it's going to take till the next morning to be able to contact them. Well, was that a waste of money? You're probably far less likely to get that person to convert. And that's a challenge with a lot of businesses that are advertising on Google in order to generate leads. Yes, you're optimizing for leads, which is good, but what you really want are those leads to convert. You might be able to generate leads in the evening, but they're far less likely to actually convert into clients because you're not contacting them till the next morning. The same is going to be true for in the middle of the night. The same may well be true for over the weekend, depending on your business. Again, if there's no one there available to contact them, if you're a B2B business as an example, perhaps you're much better off just running ads Monday to Friday, just during working hours, because you can keep that contact time much shorter. That makes it much more likely you'll contact your leads, makes it much more likely that you will convert your leads. So this is really important. I know I'm sort of going over the point here, but I really want to emphasize the importance of this for certain businesses. And particularly if you're seeing that your conversion rates are not as high as you'd like them to be, this is something that you want to give a go. So in a second, I'm going to go through and show you exactly how to create a schedule. It's relatively quick and easy to do. Before I do that, I just want to quickly let you know about our done for you Google Ads services. So my company can create, manage and optimize your Google Ad campaigns for you. We can take all that workload off your hands so you can focus on other areas of your business or your marketing, and will almost certainly get you significantly better results than if you manage it yourself, because we do this all day, every day, have done for forever at this point, right? So if you're interested, there is a link in the video description below. You can click on that, come through to a page on our website and book in a direct call with one of my team members to find out how we might be able to help. If that sounds interesting, go ahead and book a call and hopefully we get a chance to work together. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I'm in an example Google ad account, one of the example ad accounts we keep for demonstration purposes. I'm just in the overview and I'm going to go ahead and click on this new campaign, create new campaign. I'm going to select leads campaign because I think this applies most to businesses looking to generate leads, although like I said, it does apply to others as well. So I've selected leads. I'm just going to quickly scroll down. I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff. Like I said, it's an example Google ad account, not something you need to concern yourself with. Going to click continue. I'm just going to go ahead and select search for now, but obviously this can apply to other campaign types. And I'm just doing this to get through the campaign creation process quickly to get to the all important ad schedule section. Leads 5, absolutely fine. I'm going to go ahead and start new. I'm going to skip through bidding. I have other videos on bidding strategies in case you want to check those out. You can find those on my channel, and I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff because what I want to get down to is this more setting section. So Google hides this a little bit because they don't really want you to set a schedule. It's not within their interest. They have a lot of ad inventory as in places to put ads to people in the middle of the night, on search, on various other of the Google networks, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily the best thing for you as an advertiser. Just because Google has slots to fill, you want the better quality slots. Is what you want. Okay, so in more settings, we've got add schedule. So if I go ahead and click into this, I can see the default is all days, all time. But we can be much smarter than this. Like I said, you can go ahead and implement a Monday to Friday. Often B2B businesses will do this. And you could just have Monday to Friday, again, go in 24 hours during the time period, not at the weekends. Or you can set a schedule. You can set specific times. So you could say, look, I only want my ads to be running during working hours. So typical 9 to 5, I scroll down to it, gone too far. 9 to 5, perhaps you're willing to have them be open a little bit longer than that. Often with lead generation style business, it's going to depend on when do you have people available that can make contact. If you can do it 24/7, amazing. If you can do it 7 days a week, great, but say during more restricted hours. If it's only 9 to 5, then that's something that you might want to go ahead and do. And you can part this out, right? So you can add in like extra schedules. So for example, you could say like, I want it to run on Monday from 9 till 6, but then I want to run it on Tuesdays, or maybe a better example, you could go through the week on this. On Fridays, my office isn't open as long, everyone, stops being productive at, I don't know, 4 in the afternoon, so we'll set a different schedule for Fridays versus Mondays, and then you can fill in the other days. So you can do all sorts of things here. But the main part is to think about when are you available to contact these leads. And if you're not a lead-based business and still want to give this a go, take a look at your data of when you're generating your conversions. Yes, the campaign might be optimized to generate conversions or even conversions value. But if you're not getting what you want during certain days of the week or during certain times of the day, take a look at your data and you can always come in here and adjust accordingly. Now, I've shown this as part of a new campaign creation setup, but you can always go in and change things or create a new campaign with this setup as well. Now, there are a couple of really important points that I want to make about this if you decide to test this and give it a go. Firstly, treat it as a test. There's no guarantee that actually using a schedule will be better for your particular business. It does vary business to business. There are lots of businesses that this does work better for. I think just about every business should experiment with it to see if it does work better for them. But just keep that in mind that it's possible that this might not work as well as not having a schedule in place. Just wanted to quickly say that. You should also be aware that your cost per conversion, particularly your cost per lead, is likely to go up. And that's because you're advertising in better days of the week, better times of the day, where there are more valuable leads to be had. Now, what you need to therefore keep an eye on is, does my increase in conversion rate more than make up for it? In other words, does the improved quality of the leads make up for the fact that they're costing more? In many cases it will, not all though, so that's something to be aware of. If you're like an e-commerce business and you're implementing a schedule, one thing to look at is not just the number of conversions generated and the cost per conversion, but the actual return on ad spend. One of the things that I've noticed with e-commerce businesses that can generate sales, let's say during the night, is that the average order value tends to be lower. And that makes sense, right? Because let's say someone's woken up in the middle of the night or they can't sleep. They're lying there awake thinking, oh, I forgot to order. I need one of those, whatever. I need to get so-and-so a present, I need to get something. So they quickly go on their phone. That person is not going to take time to look around the various product options that you have to purchase extra products, that their order value is going to be smaller. If you remember something that you need at 3 a.m. and you quickly go on Amazon to check out, you're probably buying that one thing. If you do the same thing at 3 in the afternoon when you've got a bit of time, you might go ahead and buy 4 or 5 things. So that's also a thing to think about. You're like, oh, okay, my cost per sale has increased by implementing this. That's not good. Maybe it has, because if your return on ad spend is better, as in you're getting more conversions, people are more likely to spend more likely to maybe sign up for a subscription offer that you may have, then again, it might be net better off. So really need to know your numbers and keep an eye on this. Another thing I would say about ad schedules is I wouldn't typically recommend it for businesses that are operating in a very low search volume environment. So if you're running search campaigns and you're thinking, oh, I should apply an ad schedule, if you're barely spending your budget because there's just not that many searches for your keywords, perhaps you've got quite a tight keyword selection, you want to be really specific, implementing a schedule means you're going to miss out on potentially really valuable searches. And when you are more niche, more specific, conversion rates tend to be better anyway. So the improvement you get from implementing a schedule when it comes to conversion rate might not be as important. Now, again, I have seen businesses that have low search volume implement this and their campaigns become more profitable. Yes, they spend less, but they become more profitable. Business is happy, right? But just something to be aware of, that if you're finding that you're barely spending your budget, maybe this isn't for you. But that's not most businesses by a long way. Most businesses could spend way more even on their search campaigns, because there's far more search volume to be had, and they can most definitely go ahead and give this a go. Now, using a schedule to run your Google ads is even more important if you aren't using the right bidding strategy. And I still see so many Google advertisers using the wrong bidding strategy, and it completely wrecks their results. In this video, I show you exactly which bidding strategy you should use and when. Bidding strategy is the single most important setting in a Google ad campaign. You have to get it right, so go ahead and give this a watch.